Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome back to the West Ham Network. Now, this is not a show I would want to have brought you today, but we're starting to hear some of the rumours coming out of the club, and that is that West Ham have been dealt the injury blow as Jared Bowen is ruled out of our Europa League first tie against Bayer Leverkusen. That has been reported from the Mail online. They are confident that he will miss the first leg at least, but we're starting to hear some other reports and rumours stating that he could also be out for up to 3 weeks, which would be a huge blow, massive blow for West Ham. Obviously, how vital he's been for us since he's joined the club. And if that is true, then it is hopefully not season defining, but I can't help but feel like it is, and that's the problem again then when you have such a small squad. He's got 19 goals and 8 assists in all competitions this season, and he limped off against Wolves in the 54th minute when what looked like a kind of knee went into the back of his hip and its way landed, and you could see immediately he was in a lot of distress. And it's a huge blow to West Ham, David Moyes, West Ham fans all over. And hopefully that those 3 weeks, if that is the rumour that is set to be true, are true, that then that is from the moment of that injury. So do I believe he will be working his backside off to be as fit as he possibly can be for that game against Bayer Leverkusen back at the London Stadium? Absolutely. Does he have an outside chance? Absolutely. But it looks like he will be set to miss the game on Thursday. Unless there's an element of smoke and mirrors, that is what has been reported out in the mainstream media, that he will be missing for the game. And if he is missing for the game, I will be distraught, devastated, but we will still have to just deal with the matter and deal with what's in front of us. It's not over, of course it's not. You've got two teams going to be battling it out, and West Ham have an opportunity to be the first team to defeat Bayer Leverkusen this season. Obviously, you want your best players fit as you possibly can. However, I suppose having some of our forwards back when we didn't back in January have 3 or 4 of those players available, and now at least we've got 3 of the 4 potentially available for that game. And I've just noticed I've put in semi-finals. My bad. But at the end of the day, what they have said is this is reports. He's set to miss it. There's still no official word that has come out from the club, so bear with us on it. But we're bringing to you what the sources close to the club coming out from the Mail. The Mail has brought out this story. So please put it in the comments. Let me know your thoughts, your reaction to it. It's not ideal, but I suppose it's going to give us something else we need to try and do. Jack is saying, gutted, hope he's back for the second leg. Doesn't look likely. If it's true, he'll be out for 2 to 3 weeks. I know, but that could be from the moment of his injury. That's what we need to be concerned about, is the moment of the injury. When the injury happened on Saturday, if they're saying it's up to 3 weeks, then he has an outside chance of trying to be fit for the second leg. We're led to believe this is true, Devil's Breath. We are led to believe this is true. I'm praying, Graham, I am praying that this is mind games. I'm absolutely, you and me are playing. They are just rumors. But again, I don't know how these mainstream media wouldn't report it without some decent knowledge behind them. And it just makes up for, if this is true, what West Ham do for the leg away at Bayer Leverkusen. Glenn says, well, you can blame David. David Moyes never brought a striker. You could blame him. Could have one of them injections. I think it would be the only thing that potentially gives me any form of hope is the fact that it's more of an impact injury, is what we're led to believe. It's an impact injury. So I think there's an element of twist in it, but it's, as long as there's no like ligament damage or, I mean, I'm not a doctor, I'm not physio, all that sort of stuff, but hopefully we have addressed that situation. And hopefully it's not as bad as first feared. Quarterfinals, not semi-finals, have changed that now for you. Marcus, I reckon we bout of Europa League this year and put our attention into the remaining league games, which will be much better in Europe next year with a different manager as well. David says, Moy's fault for not getting more players in. I can't see it's getting anything from the game on Thursday. It will be interesting. Let's see what they are saying. Sorry, I'm doing this live. This is all live, so put your comments in, and let me just see what you're all saying in here. I'm just trying to see if anyone. Just bear with me while I'm on, because things are changing. Never-ending world is changing. But what we do know is it's a huge boost for Bayer Leverkusen. Let me just says here, scan, we're not good. He's got a badly bruised spine, an injury expected to keep him out for not only Thursday, but potentially the next 3 weeks. The next latest update is not looking good for West Ham. Scan results show Jared Bowen is suffering from a badly bruised spine, which on average takes 2 to 3 weeks to heal as well. And on top of the fact that we're not going to have Jared Bowen, we're also not going to have Alvarez. And that's, I suppose, when you really need your team, your squad to step up. And that's been our biggest concern this season. Let me just have a look here, see if there's anything else coming out from it. Sky Sports was saying 12 weeks yesterday. Again, we're just waiting to hear back, but we're starting to hear from all the sources close to the club. It's not as drastic as 12 weeks. Good to see you, Cyber. Thanks for joining us. Not Sky Sports Talk Sport dislocated elbow is what Dean Saunders said. I don't think it is that. I think it's definitely the impact injury that he has received. But SEF, if he is missing, which it looks like he will be, that's going to be huge. But I think our best chance really was going to be on the counter attack when you've got the Kudus, you've got the Bowen, you've got the Antonio up top, and you've got Paquetá feeding the balls through. But do you know what? When one situation arises, what does that mean for another situation? Will David Moyes react by trying to go like for like? We've got an opportunity. We've got a player sits on the bench that's not getting involved with the West Ham squad right now, and his name's Max Corney. I think he's raring to go. I think he's fighting fit, and I think he's ready to rock and roll if he needs to. I'm not saying he's going to be a replacement, but sometimes at the business end of the season, you have an opportunity to give someone a bit of light, a bit of options, something to fight for. And I'm telling you now, if you put him into that mix and give him an opportunity, I think he's going to want to snap those off with two hands. And what we do know he's got is pace. We do know he's clever on the ball, but he just doesn't play game time under David Moyes. As much as I'm saying that, I don't see David Moyes doing like for like replacement. I think David Moyes might go back to the whole kind of defensive mode, especially if we're lacking Alvarez and, of course, now Jared Bowen for the game. Always him when it comes representing England at a major tournament. He's going to play 3 centre-backs, 2 wing-backs, and keep Antonio up top stranded. He'll go into the game under damage limitation. Unfortunately, we miss Bowen and Alvarez, and we're going to struggle, especially as their big boys have just come back from injury, and that is obviously a massive concern. But we can't get so carried away. Of course, he's one of our best players, if not our best player. And he is going to be missing for the game, but we need to try and fight fire with fire, and we need to try and come back and bounce back from this and hope that we've got enough in the tank to be able to at least bring this game. We need to go into this game, bring this game back to the London Stadium with a fighting chance. That's all I care about. Get to Germany, get back, and allow us an opportunity. That's all I care about. I don't want to say I want to accept defeat, but if we come back with a 1-0 defeat, we have a chance. And we need to nullify the threat that Bayer Leverkusen are. And we know they are. They're a unit. They work as a team. They don't have over-the-top 90, 100 million pound players. They've got the best talent from around Europe. They've brought them in. They've brought all the pieces of the jigsaw, and they're doing a fantastic job. It's a massive ask for West Ham to be able to turn up there and do a job, especially missing one of our best players. However, it's something we're just going to have to do, and we need to push on with it. We miss Bowen. Alvarez is going to struggle, especially there's a big boys who just come back from injury. Absolutely. I'm not looking forward to these games. It's going to be hard from Tasman. If Infinitely says back 3 for this game on Thursday now. Big question will it be Guerd is back in for Creswell. I mean, I'm going to leave that kind of choice of choosing the team selection down to us. I'll have time to think about it. We'll get some more team news, especially from David Moyes' press conference, which will be coming up this week. And I'm assuming we'll get a little bit more information from David Moyes. We'll get a bit more clearer information. Usually some of the information that does come out that we're bringing to you now is coming from a source probably within the club that is feeding us the relevant information. We just need to hope it's not as bad as first feared, and we are now pushing the aim that he will be fit for the game at the London Stadium, which will be a week and a half away. Touch wood, and he can be fighting fit. And I'm telling you now, at that point, as long as we're still within the tie, I would put Bowen on for the game against them at London Stadium. So, not the news I wanted to bring to you today. I would have rather brought you some more positive news. But yeah, it is what it is, unfortunately. Thank you for watching, everyone. If you're new around here, hit the subscribe button, hit the thumbs up, leave the comments as well. Join us. Go and check out Russ's show this morning. Go and check out the news regarding Pakata last night. And I'll bring you the Hammers headline. Tonight will be Alex's TikTok takeover. So make sure you do join us at 9 p.m. for his show this evening. I think we show up at the game and give them a good game. There's a chance we sneak in and win. But if we get through, it's either Roma or Milan. So it's going to be a hard run. Either way, it's going to be a hard run. When you get to the business end of these competitions, it is going to be a hard run anyway. Everyone wants West Ham in the Champions League, but love it to complain when we are matched up against top teams. Have faith. I agree with that. It's a good point to say it as well. The under 21s are in the semi-finals of the International Cup versus PSV Eindhoven tonight. So make sure you do go and check that out as well. But anyway, short, sharp, straight to the point, giving you the information you don't want to hear, but we're reporting the news that's been brought to us. Not all good, but listen, it is what it is, and we need to match up and deal with it and try and show that determination, that fight, and we need the fans to get behind the team, which they do. We need the players to get behind the manager to get behind the players, and everyone to be on sync, because we've got a massive, mammoth task ahead of us, and I'm sure we're going to deal with it. Come on, you Irons.